Hey, Forrest here. Nothing like getting paid. And with ICCU's mobile app, I can deposit checks or accept Zelle payments so the money hits my account fast. I just wish there was an app for mowing the rest of these lawns.
What? Dude. Fish on.
We don't need gimmicks like giant checks and mascots to promote this year's football contest because we're giving away even more money than we did last year.
$16 million in guaranteed prizes to be exact. There's 2 ways to win and no rake.
Players in Circa Millions make 5 picks against the spread each week with quarterly and full season payouts.
Circa Survivor entries select 1 team each week with no point spread. Last the longest to win it all. Visit circasports.com for details.
RowPaint.com is going all in this season with an all-star lineup. It's Coach Leon Rice and Andy Rowe.
Oh no. Want to just paint my house?
When I want Boise State to win, I trust Coach Rice to lead the Broncos to victory.
And when I want the best painting and garage floor coating, I trust RowPaint.com to get that job done right.
This is Bronco Nation News Live. The best interviews, the most informed opinions, the latest breaking news, all from the top Boise State insiders. Today's broadcast is coming from the Cutwater Spirits Canned Cocktail Studios. Check out one of their more than 30 flavors of pre-mixed premium cocktails at your local gas station or grocery store. Cutwater Canned Cocktails is perfect for your next game day tailgate party. Now, here's 4-time NSMA Idaho Sports Writer of the Year, BJ Rains, with another edition of Bronco Nation News Live.
Hey, how we doing, Boise State fans? A happy Thursday to you here at Bronco Nation News, BroncoNationNews.com. It's a Lithia Ford Boise Thursday. We got John Mallory, host of KTIK 95.3 The Ticket, our partnership with KTIK. Johnny, Thursday, you switched up yesterday to help me out while I was traveling back, but back here in the Cutwater Studios in Meridian and fired up and ready to get down to football season here, man.
Isn't that crazy? Less than a week from Boise State fall camp beginning. We're going to do a huge preview with you, 5 p.m. tomorrow on Idaho Sports Talk, previewing camp. 3 Mountain West teams are on day 2 today. Kind of interesting to peek over to see kind of what they're doing. New Mexico, Hawaii, Nevada, I believe, BJ. So, yeah, here we are. I mean, football season is getting really close, obviously, and once fall camp starts, I'm curious to see maybe what type of access we're going to have and the fans will get to follow this team in preparation for a season that, I mean, it's overflowing with hype, I think, BJ. It just keeps oozing out all this hype. You don't even know where to begin or where to end. And that's part of the reason I'm here on BNN today to help sort this thing out and get everybody ready for a very highly anticipated football season, man.
Yeah, and it sounds like in the next day or two, we should be getting the fall camp schedule. And I believe, hopefully, fingers crossed, it'll be similar to what it was in spring ball, Johnny, because our ability to watch those practices, it really helped. I mean, we saw some improvement from some guys. We were able to do some things, and I haven't heard one way or the other, but I know it was a little bit of a test run in spring to see how it was going to work. And hopefully for our sake, hopefully for the fans' sake, Johnny, we can get out there and watch a lot of practice in fall camp, because that would be something we haven't done in a while. But I think it really helps us get a good idea of this football team.
Yeah, because, I mean, it's great to see the full practice, like for spring, for example, but it's still spring ball. And I think everybody's still aware of it, and no one was going to win that job last spring. I think we kind of felt that early. But when this is happening in fall camp, I mean, every day is more important because you have less time to get ready, right? You're even more up against that clock. So if we're able to get out there and maybe see what we saw in spring, but with a lot more weight to it, that will be very interesting, and love to have a front row seat to see not only the quarterback competition, but a lot of other competitions with positions on this team, BJ, that figure and feature very, very popular and familiar names to Boise State players. There might be some guys that have been starting in the past that maybe don't play as much this year with other players coming up. So lots of storylines, a lot of reasons to be able, hopefully, to see some of this develop at practice and then be able to form your own opinions on it and not just take what the coaches give you and the players give you in the post-practice audio sessions.
This is one of the more intriguing fall camps I can remember, Johnny, and we're going to get here in a minute to we're continuing our countdown of the 5 most important players, and today we're tackling 2 defensive guys, Ahmed Hassanein, Andrew Simpson. We'll get to that in a second. There is the YouTube chat's already going. The poll question is up. Who is more important in your mind to this defense, Andrew Simpson or Ahmed Hassanein this season? You can put that in the YouTube chat, and while you're there, make sure you subscribe on YouTube and like the broadcast and all that good stuff. I think we're about 85 away from 5,000 YouTube subscribers, Johnny. But this is as fascinating of a fall camp as I can remember, and obviously anytime there's a true quarterback battle, that's going to make it a fascinating fall camp, as you know, Johnny. But you just throw in the Ashton Genty hype going into the season, the Chris Marshall, Cam Camper, unknowns, some of the other guys we've talked about, and it all building towards what you hope is a CFP appearance. This is a very intriguing fall camp, and I'm excited to see it get going next week. It sounds like Monday will be the press conference with Spencer Danielson, some of the coaches maybe. Wednesday will be the first practice. Next Wednesday when we do our BNN hit, Johnny, we may be at the James or Taco Bell or somewhere after watching the practice before the interviews. And I know at fall camp in the first couple of days, you're always excited. You're always ready to go. But it does feel like this year there's going to be more buzz and more, storylines and things to watch than we've had in a while.
I'd agree with that. And hard to imagine. I mean, you look at a program in Boise State, they've been in FBS, I think 28 years. In 18 of those 28 years, they've won 10-plus games. I mean, that's just a ridiculous percentage. So expectations, kind of are what they are. The bar has been set for this football team. So they know what they need to do as far as the intrigue. Yeah, I mean, I can have a storyline all over the place. I'll pick up where you left off. You left off on the intrigue, on the surprise, the mystery of the wide receiver room. I'll look at the possible breakout factor of Matt Lauder. It wasn't just us in the media that were detailing and describing the spring that Matt Lauder was having at tight end, but I asked Spencer Danielson at media days, give me this year's Ahmed, who's going to be kind of, good player, up and coming to just massively pops and is an off-conference first-team caliber type of player. He said Matt Lauder. So I was like, okay, yeah, Spencer's seeing this too. The offensive line storyline, super experienced veteran group. Let's see if anyone or individually or collectively they can get great instead of pretty good. And then you can just go on and on. BJ, certainly with the defensive line, Ahmed, linebacking core, Simpson, those two are carrying that regard. And the secondary is filled with storylines too. You can kind of pick your poison.
Yeah.
If you want to talk about this Boise State team. I mean, Bronco Nation at the water cooler in their, group text with their buddies. I mean, dude, there's a million different topics and conversations you can go to. So yeah, I think that you add that in the crock pot to the hype and to the excitement level for this year, kind of like you were saying. And I think that makes a little more sense because there's just a lot of storylines and a lot of questions that need to be answered too. But you could probably say that with a lot of teams, but man, you could certainly say that with Boise State.
Appreciate all the comments coming in on the ICCU YouTube chat. We'll get to those throughout the show. Johnny, Jim says, got to cut back on the hype a little bit. Let's appreciate the Bronco football program that will be special this year. Is there so much is overhyped? Is there such a thing, Johnny, overhyping this team this year? And do you have to be careful with that at all? Or is this, the hype is advertised?
Yeah, I would say if you're like, hey, you know what? Not only are they going to the CFP, BJ, but they're going to go on a run when they get there. Just look out. I would not want to play Boise State if I'm the second best team in the Big Ten or the third best team in the SEC. I don't want to tussle with Boise State. They'll beat me. I would say, dude, get off it. No, but I mean, the hype of saying CFP or disappointment is fair. CFP or bust probably isn't. This team wins the Mountain West and doesn't get picked for the CFP. But buzzkill, yes. The season a bust, no. But other than that, I mean, I don't know. I mean, what's the advantage of dismissing potential hype? I'm asking you. I mean, what's the? I mean,
it makes for some fans maybe not as disappointed later in the season if it doesn't go well. Yeah.
Exactly. You're just protecting yourself to not be disappointed if it doesn't live up to your hype. Well, you know what? If it doesn't live up to your hype, I don't know. Deal with it. Be a big boy. Go see help. I don't care. But you know what? Sometimes when it does live up to the hype, it's terrific. And it adds to the overall splendor of the season. Now, when they come out of nowhere, that's great too. There's a lot of different ways to be happy about your team, BJ, and excitement. So some fans, if they say, hey, you got to temper this, I don't want to set myself up for a massive disappointment. You can do you. Other fans who are like, man, I'm seeing all this stuff I'm putting in this crock pot. I can't wait to grab that plastic spoon and get that little taste of it with camp, because this thing looks really good and I'm excited. I think you can go both ways. I don't care which one, right? And this fan base certainly has both, like most do. And but yeah, I think that's fair.
Yeah. Hey, let's talk about Andrew Simpson, Ahmed Hassanein in just a second. But Lithia Ford of Boise, it's a Lithia Ford of Boise Thursday here at BNN. We appreciate them. Check them out online, lithiafordboise.com. You can view their full inventory of vehicles online, and that makes it so much easier to do your research ahead of time. Then you go in, test drive the vehicles. You know which one you already looked at. You're all good, miles, all the different engine size, everything else it has, and you're ready to go. So check them out, Lithia Ford Boise. Do what the Raines family did. We're loving our F-150. Your next car or truck purchase, make it Lithia Ford of Boise. The Blue and Orange Store, you need some Boise State gear. Check out the blueandorangestore.com. Travis Hawks & Company are at it again. They got the new jerseys. They got the all the NIL gear, the Heisman shirts for Ashton Genty. Whether you need just a new polo, new sweatshirt, new jacket for the season, or some of those bumper stickers, car flags, something for the office maybe. Check them out. They got it all at the Blue and Orange Store, second floor of the Boise Town Square Mall there next to Pro Image, or you can just go to the blueandorangestore.com. You thinking about a new career change? How about the trucking industry? Transportation Compliance Service can help you every step of the way. Get into the trucking industry, transcomservice.com, a national company right here based in the Treasure Valley. And again, all your permits and things to get out there, towing that first load in no time. Check them out. Get more information, transcomservice.com. Taco Bell, looking forward to getting over to Taco Bell for some broadcasts here during fall camp. We're going to be kind of stationed a little bit at Taco Bell because it's right on there on Broadway near the stadium. So we'll go watch some practice. We'll maybe do a little show at Taco Bell some days and then go over and do some interviews. So it's going to be fun. We appreciate our friends at Taco Bell. TacoBellWorks.com. Check them out online. Get more information on all the charitable giving efforts they're doing, the hundreds of thousands of dollars they're putting into the Boise State student athlete scholarships for men's and women's basketball. And of course, if their food's not half bad as well. So check them out. Taco Bell. Get more information at TacoBellWorks.com. And our order, Johnny, should be arriving in the next 30 minutes or so. Lean Feast, Meridian.com. We're back in town. First thing you got to do is get that Lean Feast order in. So Lean Feast, Meridian.com, over 10,000 combinations of meals. And Prater and I think Monday may be out there for a live show, so we'll let you know about that. But they've got Ahmed Hassanein on their list now as an NIL athlete. They're feeding Ahmed. They're feeding Tyson Degenhart. They're feeding the football team, the basketball team. If you're looking to eat healthier, if you're just looking for convenience, maybe you already eat pretty healthy, but you just don't want to have to make a lunch every day at work, you go pick how many ounces of the protein, how many ounces of all the stuff you want. You put it in a microwavable dish, and, in 2 minutes, you're eating steak, shrimp, right there in the microwave. And I'm sure Johnny's used to the smell of Mike Prater's Lean Feast there in the office now. So check it out, leanfeastmeridian.com. And I do want to throw a plug in here for Circa Sports. We're going to be down there for their contest weekend in about a month. If you want to go to Vegas, you want to go week 0, bet on some college football games, week 0, we can get you a hotel room discount And there's some open bar events with Derek Stevens, the owner. It's their contest weekend coming up in August. We're looking forward to this next month. We're signing people up for the contest using their proxy, Tom Carroll. So Vegas football proxy. Again, you got to sign up in Vegas. So come down with us or have me sign you up and give me your money and we'll sign you up through Tom Carroll. And then you make your picks every week, anywhere in the world, 100% legal, using your proxy, Tom Carroll. So you can do the Survivor contest. You can do the Millions contest, 16 million on the line, and get some buddies together, split the cost. It's a lot of fun. And we're heading down to Vegas for contest weekend for week 0. Looking forward to that. And Johnny, we're hoping we can get down there for the UNLV game as well. We got to get you guys down there and make this happen. But we do have a package we put together. $500 gets you round trip airfare, 2 nights hotel at Circa or the D. And there's other events, transportation's included to and from the game from Circa. There's going to be a pregame party. Hoping we can make it work, get you guys out there doing your show and everybody having a good time, tailgating, at Circa and then jumping on the party bus, so to speak, over to the game. That would be a lot of fun. But if you want to join us for the football game in Vegas in October, reach out to me. We have some spots left for our package, and that's going to be a lot of fun. Looking forward to that. Johnny, folks on the chat are saying, bring the hype on. They're all fine with the hype. They say, bring it on. The hype, absolutely. The motivation. Jim says it feeds the boards of the competition, though.
I can promise you there's not one program, not one, that will ever or has ever faced Boise State and said, you know what, God damn it. They're in the message boards. I was on the BNN chat room, and oh my gosh, they're talking. So us here at Colorado State or Nevada or New Mexico, we're going to try a lot harder against Boise State, those stinking jerks in that chat room. We're really going to get them now. I'm telling you, man, they don't think like that. I swear to you, that would not have any reason on an opponent getting more ready,
more fired up for Boise State because they're or not or something.
Because Jackhole Bronco 69 says, "Hey man, we're hype. We're hype." Just that's not how it works, man. I promise you. But I wouldn't be worried about it. Bring with the hype. Don't worry about, oh my gosh, Bronco Mendenhall's waking up in the middle of the night, pissed off at that BNN chat room. I'm a little nervous that he's going to have the troops really fired up against us. Dang it.
Well, they don't have to worry about it because they don't play New Mexico this year. So,
Good point.
Let Bronco Mendenhall get as fired up as he wants
Busted
this year. Reading the BNN chat. Tyree Felder says 20,000 season tickets incoming. He wants 6 sellouts. And Johnny, I mean, they can blame us for hyping it up, whatever, but the fans are doing it themselves. They're going for record season ticket sales here. I mean, they haven't had 20,000 season tickets in a decade, I think, since right around the end of the Kellen Moore era, and they're now over 19,000 season tickets already. They're pushing towards 20,000. You saw the new they're putting up the new Bronco head on the back of the scoreboard this week. The new sound system's coming in shortly. The lights were in their lap. They'll have the new sound system.
This year we get the new sound system on the blue, huh? Oh, fans, they got the lights.
They've been saying all along.
The sound. Yeah, I forgot about that. With all that stuff going on, I didn't even remember. Oh, yeah, they're getting the new sound system. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, they're kind of feeding into there's a lot of other things than you and me on this dinky podcast talking about, in terms of the hype. But one of the reasons, Johnny, is I think they do have some star power, and we're doing our top 5 players. We're just kind of looking at 5 guys this week as we get ready for camp next week that are super important. I know you guys did your pre-spring rankings, your post-spring rankings, and I purposely didn't look at it. I don't know where you guys had Ahmed Hassanein and Andrew Simpson on your last list after spring ball. But we've got Ahmed and Andrew in our top 5 here, and we've got one of them number 3 and one of them number 2. And you can go either way, and that's part of the debate here. Who do you see as being more important to the team? And there's a lot of people in the chat chiming in. We'll get to those. Make your vote. Let us know, who do you have in terms of being more important to this team. But both guys, we'll talk about them individually, Johnny, but both of them from a linebacker spot, from a defensive end spot. No, I think they're in my opinion, the 2 most important guys. I mean, if you want to try to get cute and pick a corner because that position's was bad last year, whatever. Yeah. But you just look at production and returning production. These are your 2 quote unquote stars on this defense, and they both need to have big years.
Yeah, Ahmed, I mean, he'll help the secondary, as will Simpson. It all kind of trickles down, right, with the pass rush. I can't wait to see these 2 kind of hopefully turn into a a dynamic duo of defense on defense where 2 or 3 times a game, they each make a big play. You start adding that up, right? That's what I remember with my old Seahawks. I'm watching a game in the LOB era. I swear there's like 5 dudes on that defense that make 2 or 3 significant plays a game. That adds up. So all of a sudden you've made 15 significant plays on defense. See ya. Wouldn't want to be ya. So I think Andrew Simpson and Ahmed, if they can do that, it's going to, man, this defense is going to could be significantly better than last year. When I look at the value, I kind of look at who's behind them. And it feels to me that maybe with the emergence of Jake Ripp, you're thinking, okay, Marco's healthy. Rips wants to factor in Simpson. He blew up to 240 this year, by the way. Andrew Simpson, 6 feet, 240. He's a brick outhouse now. That guy took it to another level physically. So I really do want to see this year's version of Andrew Simpson. It'll be better than last year's. Ahmed too, BJ. But back to the depth. For me, you need them both if you want to go to the CFP, I think. But the pass rusher, Ahmed, 6th in the nation in sacks last year. And you think he's probably going to get better. I know he's going to be a better player. I don't know if the sacks will come with that or not. He's going to be, BJ, targeted by offensive linemen. I mean, that's the number one deal for a lot of DCs offensive coordinators will be like, you can't let 91 come wreck the game, because he will. But other than that, BJ, their value pretty stinking even. We had 2 and 3. Ahmed and Simpson, they were 2 and 3 on our list too. I think most people who follow this team will agree, and they've just seen those guys make so many plays. They're both all league players, and this defense needs to get some mojo. They need to get life. They need to get an attitude. What is it? The BYBs, the Boneyard Boys? Yep. Well, let me see the Boneyard Boys, lead the league in a significant statistical category, not rank 110th versus the pass. And you can't be an elite defense when you have stats like that, BJ. So hopefully these guys, they turn the corner on that and get that done. And it starts with Ahmed and Andrew Simpson, BJ, period.
Yeah, and I think they need to get more turnovers this year. And we talked about that as being a big storyline. They didn't get a lot of turnovers last year. I want to say only 18 in 14 games. And their goal is 3 a game, and they barely got 1 a game. And part of that comes with pressuring the quarterback and making tackles in the backfield and meeting guys in the backfield, in terms of negative plays and things, which they both excelled in last year. Robert Coggin says both Simpson and Hassanein are critical in the success this year. Both will have a huge year. One of them will win the Mountain West Conference Defensive Player of the Year award. Now, Boise brings up, really need some pressure coming off the other side to take some heat off Ahmed. I think Jaden Virgin Morgan is in for a breakout year. I mean, you mentioned all these teams focusing on Ahmed Hassanein. That might open up some opportunities on the other side for some other guys.
Can he have Ahmed's year last year?
Oh, I don't know about that.
Okay. I mean, is that his ceiling then? Can he have half of that, I guess? No, you're right. He probably cannot. That'd be
I would take Ahmed having Ahmed's season last year again. I don't even think Ahmed's going to be able to with all the pressure he's going to now get and just how hard that is. I mean, I don't even know if Ahmed can do what Ahmed did last year.
Dude, he's so much further along just in life, though. That's why even if the stats aren't there, Ahmed's going to be better, and this defense will be better.
No doubt.
Because Ahmed's better. He's just so ready for this and dialed in to football like he never has been before. Thing like terminology, when you're learning a new language, I can't imagine trying to associate that with football, like a zone dog. If you're just learning English, you're thinking, okay, a zone is an area and a dog is an animal. How the hell can this possibly relate to what I have to learn here? Just little things like that. And the terminology took him a long time, and that's not even a deal anymore. He knows more football than just about anybody out there. So, Virgin Morgan could be that secondary piece. Sure.
Yeah, some people are saying that Jaden Virgin Morgan has a chance to be most impactful, needs someone to take the focus off him. Let's see what else we got here. If Simpsons can be – they're comparing Simpsons to Micah Parsons here. What do you think about that?
If there is a Micah Parsons of the Mountain West, I would probably say it's Andrew Simpson, just because the versatility And I think the build too, he's not 6'3", he's 6 feet. He might be, we might find out at the combine, which he might be at this year. Who knows? This would be a deal. I think Andrew Simpson might be at the point after this year, if he pops, BJ, to get paid a lot of money to either play college football or in the NFL. That could be something, but we might find out he's 5'10 and a half, 5'11. I don't know. But, he boomed up to 240, like I said, this year, and his versatility, man, if he can do some Micah Parsons things, just totally wreck a game, man, this is going to be a really special season. If the defense brings it, BJ, I mean, let's just be simple here. If the defense brings it and they can be a top 4 Mountain West defense, and I don't think I'm overhyping that. I don't think you're saying, oh, ball game, top 4 in the Mountain West, you're an idiot. No, I think this defense can be a top 4 Mountain West defense. Last year, it wasn't. If you're a top 4 Mountain West defense, I mean, I think they can do some serious things this season, BJ, and get that mojo back. Back in the day, it was crazy. Like Boise State fans, you got them both. I mean, the offense was obviously spectacular with the creativity and the points, but man, the defense and the special teams, they were exciting too. Always returning kicks and making massive plays on defense and putting all these dudes in the NFL. Our boy, Winston Venable, bringing the truck, Jerron, George Iloka. You didn't want to play those guys. Those guys were tough. Those guys were mean. And last couple of years, it feels like that. I'll just say that defense doesn't feel like that watching Boise State play defense anymore.
No, it doesn't. They've got to get back to that level, certainly. But you look at the big thing for me, Johnny, is, Andrew Simpson, you almost have to do a double take, even though we've looked at this 20 times. Like, Andrew Simpson from the linebacker spot had 16 tackles for loss. That is just a ridiculous number and so they're using him in pressure situations. He had 6, I think it was 6.5 sacks. So he had 10, tackles for loss in the backfield that were not on the quarterback. That is really, really impressive. And so that's a number that he's going to have to try to do it. Ahmed Hassanein had 16.5. You're talking 32.5 tackles for loss from 2 guys. That is just it's unbelievable. And, the 12.5 sacks for Ahmed Hassanein, 6.5 for Andrew Simpson, as I said. And then you have to go down the line and get to like 3 for Ty Benefield and Marco Notriani. These guys are clearly they're the 2 stars. I'm curious, by the way, who'd you have 4 and 5? Do you have your whole list by you? Where was Latrell Caples at?
5th.
Okay, and who was 4th?
Mason Randolph.
Okay, I can see that. The center. All right, yeah, I can see that. We had Latrell Caples 4th. I assume you have Genty 1st also. So pretty similar there. That's interesting there. But easily answer. Everyone's staying healthy. I see someone says Ahmed is more important, more depth at linebacker. I'm telling you right now, dude, if Ahmed Hassanein has 12.5 sacks and 16.5 tackles for loss again, like this team's going to this. Like if he does those numbers again, they're maybe going undefeated. Ahmed Hassanein is like, I just don't think it's happening. I agree with you. I think he could have a better year, but not have as good of stats. And we talked to him. You guys had him on down there in Vegas at media days. And I think he even admits that. What did you take away? Because with Ahmed, you got to talk about the story and just his personality and the way he speaks and what he's overcome. And I know a lot of people watching this that are Boise State fans certainly know all about Ahmed Hassanein. But man, every time you talk to the guy, you learn something new. You leave with even a more perspective on life and on just how amazing of a person he is. And so again, I know every time you do it, but every time you're blown away and there's another quote that sticks with you or something. I know you guys really enjoyed talking to him down in Vegas.
Ahmed effing Hassanein, right? And the F word is focus, right? I don't know if I've ever talked to a Boise State football player who appeared more focused before a football season than Ahmed Hassanein this year. Just laser. He's laying low. He did the Bronco Classic softball game because that's who he is. He's going to help his teammates. He's going to help raise money for NIL. He knows he needs to be there. He wants to be the captain of the team. That's well documented. So he goes to events that he knows he needs to be at. But other than that, he said he was laying low and he was doing it for a reason because he was worried that the boogeyman of ego and laziness and press clippings and I'm great was coming close to him. And to stop any possible letdown, he was saying, I'm just not going to read it. I'm not going to be out there. I'm not doing interviews. That's how focused I am for this team. So you put all that together with, the work ethic and the strength and the person he is, and he's laser focused, and Boise State is really lucky to have him, and he's going to have a spectacular season. I would love to see him pull like a Curtis Weaver year, BJ. Give us, Kamale Correa, that's probably more of a edge rusher. Ahmed plays with his hand on the ground more, but you get what I'm saying? Like that type of defensive impact. Can he go in that direction? Can Ahmed Hassanein clearly just be the best defensive player in the league? Can he be last year's kind of Mo Kamara at Colorado State? Kamara got on that hot start with all those sacks, and it was just like, okay, that guy's good the rest of the year, and he ends up, being one of only 2 Mountain West players this year that were drafted. Can Ahmed be Mo Kamara? I kind of think he can be that, but the focus, BJ, I think he's going to be captain. That'll be an interesting vote, to be honest, because they have a lot of leaders and stuff, but I couldn't be higher on Ahmed Hassanein. I think he's going to be terrific, and obviously Simpson's right there with him. Boise State's lucky to have at least those 2 bona fide defensive stars, because you've seen them do it. You've seen the accolades at the end of the year, but they're going to need a couple more to join Ahmed in Simpson this year if they're doing all this wonderful stuff. And I think those guys are on the roster. They're just going to have to deliver.
I can tell people are itching for football here, Johnny. The YouTube chat is lit, as they say nowadays, with lots of comments and things, and we'll get back to that in just a second. But first, Cutwater Spirits, more than 35 flavors of pre-mixed premium cocktails. Make sure you pick one up at your local gas station or grocery store. Cutwater Spirits, perfect for that next game day tailgate party. Rowpaint.com, our title sponsor. I tell you every day, folks, but there really would not be a BNN without a Row Paint and Andy Rowe and their sponsorship. So please return the favor. Next time you're looking for your painting need, don't try to do it yourself. Just let the professionals handle it. Quality work, and it's great, affordable prices and competitive rates. And rowpaint.com really is the best. The concrete coatings in the back patio, your garage, your basement, any of the interior, exterior residential painting. We're going to have to get our outside of our new home painted here pretty soon. The sun is just in the wrong spot all day, right on the right side here. So where we know who we're calling, rowpaint.com. So all your painting needs, the official paint and coatings company of Boise State Athletics, rowpaint.com. Idaho Central Credit Union as well, ICCU.com. They're sponsoring Tyson Degenhart, the Tyson Degenhart Show, and obviously they can help you as well. There's a branch pretty much on every corner, but the easiest is that mobile e-branch online banking on the app in your phone. And again, I've been into an ICCU like 3 times to sign up for an account and to get a money order or a cashier's check made. Otherwise, everything can be done right from my computer or my phone. So easy to use. So thankful we made the switch. And again, we're out at Bora High School. I think I counted their logo like 9 times out at Bora. So make sure that you support the sponsors. Make the switch today. You'll be happy you did. You'll wish you had done it sooner. Idaho Central Credit Union. Speaking of supporting the sponsors, we were so happy we used Matt Bauscher and Bauscher Real Estate for our purchase of our home and our sale of our home a couple months ago. Tremendous job for Matt and his team. Kelly, Cade, Sarah, the whole crew. Super appreciative and thankful. Matt, they did a tremendous job. And BauscherRealEstate.com. Again, everyone thinks of Matt as selling those $5 million homes, and he can certainly do that. But your standard, average family of 4 size home that we purchased and sold, he can help you with that just as well. So BauscherRealEstate.com, 243-8222. If you want personalized service, if you want dedicated team that's going to help you every step of the way and get best value for your home and top dollar and really fight for you in the counter proposals and things, that's Matt Bauscher and Bauscher Real Estate. And of course, Ridley's Family Markets as well. Check them out, shopridleys.com, shopridleys.com, Ridley's Family Markets. And again, 13 locations around the state of Idaho. I recommend that McCall location if you're heading up out of town for the weekend. They got some in the Treasure Valley, the Magic Valley, all around the state, even the surrounding states. There's one in Laramie, Wyoming. They've got some in Utah. Ridley's Family Markets. Make sure you support the sponsors. Next time you're looking for a hometown grocer, think Ridley's Family Markets. We even got John Mallory in the chat there. So let's see. Tyree says, make sure to like the stream, folks. The push for 5K is close. It helps out. It's pretty easy. If you're just sitting watching the video right there on the bottom of the screen, you can press a little button that says like. and that helps us show up a little higher in the algorithms. And tell your friends we're trying to get to 5,000 YouTube subscribers here. A lot of people saying 11-1, not counting us out against Oregon. It's going to be a game. We got to get John Mallory to Eugene somehow too. We got to get.
I love football games in Eugene. Covered probably
famous spot where you were in the background on TV.
Yep, that was what I did. I mean, I was on the sideline. Oregon, Washington State, awesome game. Justin Herbert versus Gardner Minshew. Like I think that was what it was. The game ends, and I see Maria Taylor because College Game Day was there. Maybe it was Stanford, but and I knew she was going to interview Herbert, and I was on the sidelines. You know, with 5 minutes left in the game, they allow every media member to watch the game on the sideline. I don't know if you guys knew that in college football. You can't just watch.
And just with the elevators and coaches and fans, they don't want the media to get stuck down there. So with 5 minutes left, they reserve a couple elevators for the media to go down and watch the end of the game.
Which is real interesting too, because when you have this classic game, you're thinking, dude, do I really want to put all this stuff in my backpack right now? Run to the elevator, come down, run around. I mean, because you don't just get right down there. But anyway, but after that game, BJ, I saw Maria Taylor running for Justin Herbert at midfield, and I just started running there, and I got right behind Justin Herbert in a national television interview after they just beat Stanford in overtime or something, and I'm just sitting there it's stupid. But yeah, Eugene, great place to cover a game. I can't say, Oregon fans are great. No, they'll probably be jerks to Boise State fan, and they don't like each other. These fan bases don't like each other. Oregon fan won't admit it, but it really pisses them off that they haven't beat Boise State, because Oregon fan will say all three of those games, we were in the worst set of circumstances. Basically, you caught us 3 times where sadly a lot of teams would have beat us. The bowl game, our best player didn't even play. Our coach wasn't even there. Screw you. We're Oregon. We're too cool for the LA Bowl or the Vegas Bowl. Have fun with that. The next game, the blunt punch, Chip Kelly. But Oregon fan has an excuse. Chip Kelly's first game, and it bugs them, though, that they're 0-3 against Oregon. Whatever fan base wins that game, BJ, front row seat for the trash talk. The Boise State 4-0 will just be off the charts. By the way, if Boise State can win that game, they'll get back to a conversation that they haven't been involved in since Florida State. That was the last time Boise State registered a big national win early in the year where people were at least like, Stacy's available. Look out. Boise State might be really good again this year. They haven't had that win because they're freaking 0-1 every year. If they're 2-0 this year, Boise State will dominate that day, that night, that Monday. Especially, you think Boise State's getting a lot of hype? The stinking Ducks blew up a 200-foot rubber ducky and threw it in the river to say, hey, we're here in the Big Ten. That's hype over there in Oregon. So that will be a huge story, but I can't wait for that game. BJ, to answer your question, yes. Why don't you, Uncle BJ? Oregon has Uncle Phil. Johnny Ballgame has Uncle BJ. Uncle BJ?
Try to get you to Vegas. I'm not sure if we can get you to Eugene. We'll see. We'll have to discuss with JP. I think we talked about this on the BNN hit down in Vegas, Johnny, but is that the only game they can afford to lose, or can they have 2 losses and still get the CFP bid?
Depends on who else, right? It'll be so nice if Liberty can get its ass kicked by App State or, I don't know, New Mexico State. They lost their quarterback. Right? If Liberty can just lose, there's going to be so many Boise State fans on X, just, I don't know, the emojis, the celebrations, the popping of the cork. Like, man.
I don't think they want Liberty, man. I think for sure 1 loss, Boise State gets in over undefeated Liberty. And I'm not 100% sure, depending on the 2 losses, if one's Oregon and say Boise State loses the first 2 or something and then goes 10-2 and has won 11, 9 games in a row, whatever it would be, 11 games in a row, winning the championship. Like, if it's the right 2 losses, if one's Oregon and one's maybe early in the season, another one, or somehow, like, I'm not saying it's impossible that a 2-loss Boise State team would have a chance. I know I think maybe Prater would laugh at me and say that's crazy, but like, I don't think they want Liberty back in, man. They got crushed by Oregon last year. I don't think Liberty has nearly the cachet for this first round of the playoffs this year. Like, they need ratings. They want teams. They want spice, that first Friday night game. Like, I know they say that's not part of it, but I think Boise State, if they have a classic Boise State type season and they're sitting there at 11-2 going into Selection Sunday, I certainly could see a scenario where a 2-loss Boise State team still has a chance to get in over Liberty.
Say what you will. Boise State right now is the G5 default button. If all things are even, you just press the default button. Okay, it's Boise State. Boise State will win that argument with the committee over any team, including Memphis. If everything is even, tie will always go to Boise State. I believe that too. And until that doesn't happen, I would be very surprised. Okay. 2 losses. Now, you're not going to get in if there's an American champion with 1 loss. Not going to happen. If it's Memphis or Tulane or UTSA, BJ, one of those teams. I mean, maybe 2 losses will be tough. I honestly think, though, I mean, if Genty gets rolling, I mean, the Oregon game might not be an embarrassment. It might be closer than a lot of people expect. So, yeah, if you play well that game, I think smart committee members, especially if Oregon is doing what they think Oregon's going to do, and they're going to say, damn, Oregon ran through the Big Ten this year, 1, 2 losses, whatever. Boise State gave them a really tough game, too. Do you know the last time Oregon lost to a non-con opponent in Eugene?
Enlighten us here.
That dude.
Wow.
2008.
Wow.
Kellen, that's the last time the Ducks have dropped a home game to a non-con. I mean, crazy, huh? That's the last time it's happened, BJ. So 10-2, 11-2. It depends on what else. I think if you're 11-1, and look, I don't think there's going to be any undefeated teams in the G5. Come on now, unless it's Liberty, because their schedule right now, 135 teams now, maybe, or is it 134? I think it's 135. I think their schedule right now is like 128, 127.
I don't think they want Liberty in there, man.
They don't play a P4 team. So hard for me if you're going to run the table and you don't play a P4 team. Like when UCF had their natty, they played 1 Power 5 team their entire regular season, and it was a 4-8 Maryland team. They should have played Georgia Tech, but that game got canceled because of a hurricane, I think. And they're claiming a natty. They played 1 P4 team, P5 then, until they played in the Sugar. They played, I think, a 4-loss Auburn team, national championship. So kind of depends on, where the chips fall, if you will, man. But I mean, I wish they'd look at that a little more. If you have not any challenging games outside of your league, and if your league doesn't even present very many challenging games, you're going to put those guys in that tournament. It might just look weird. I don't know. They're going to have to be undefeated, though, and a lot of conversation with that coming up, bro.
It's going to be a lot of fun, man. I just can't wait to get started next Wednesday. Again, Monday will be the press conference with Spencer Danielson and hopefully some other coaches. Wednesday will be the first practice. And again, KTIK, 3 to 6 every day, BNN in the morning. Like, there's not going to be a better spot to find your fall camp coverage than KTIK and BNN. We're super excited about, the different things we got going on. And we'll hit you in the morning, and they'll hit you after practice with all the interviews from 3 to 6 and their observations at practice. And you and Prater will be coming on still during the segments, and Prater will have columns going, and it's going to be a lot of fun here. And again, we don't root for teams to win, Johnny, in this business. We root for storylines and things to happen, and it certainly would be a lot of fun if they could get off to a nice start here and beat Georgia Southern, and then who knows about if they were able to find a way to beat Oregon. You want to talk about hype? Oh man!
If you're in the G5, you put yourself out of the national conversation the second you lose. You just do. Well, that's what we're doing now. You got to be undefeated. You need that 1-0 in Boise State. Yeah, they haven't been able to get the momentum rolling. They're always having to play catch up.
Yep.
And when you're playing catch up, College Game Day doesn't need to do a segment on you every single week anymore.
Well, don't get me started about that. I think not being
Okay.
on ESPN really hurts them too when it comes to some
Okay.
of that.
Think about it like this. I mean, okay, for example, USC. USC hasn't what is it? What was the stat on USC? They haven't finished, what is it, in the top 5 or top 10 in a decade? Does anybody remember that? No. Does anybody care? No. Has it affected their recruiting? Hell no. Are they, oh my God, USC just isn't the same anymore, because look at the damn standings. Look at they're not the same anymore. 2016 was the year. It was Clay Helton when they won that Rose Bowl. They never went to a CFP. Never. 10 years of that freaking tournament, and SC never got in. Get off it. Does anybody care? Hell no. It's better to be cool than good in college football. It's so weird how that works. You don't get penalized for having a decade where you're not you anymore. Nobody cares. You're just still you. It doesn't matter. Fight on. We're SC when, man, okay. Never played in a CFP game. But that's how college football is, my brother. And contractually, I'm 1 minute and 28 seconds past.
Well, I was trying to end it 2 minutes. That's on you. I was trying to end it, and you went on some weird rant about USC. So, yeah. Appreciate you, Johnny, as always. What do we got? 3-6. So since we're past anyway, what do we got today?
Yes. Popping today. Turning shows after another. We are going to examine the quarterback path for Boise State's defense this season. What quarterbacks do they think they'll be facing? Who are you worried about? Who are the no names? Just examining the opposition, the quarterbacks that Boise State will face this season. So that'll be a lot of fun, BJ.
By the way, we try to keep it to 45, but I think in the contract, it does say we can go up to an hour. So I got 13 more minutes here if you want to keep talking. But Johnny, appreciate you as always, man. We'll be listening 3 to 6 today on Idaho Sports Talk. And then again, tomorrow, 3 to 6, I'll be on at 5 o'clock with a fall camp preview as we get you set for next week. Jay Tuss will join us tomorrow. But again, make sure you're listening 3 to 6 today to Johnny Prater, Bob, JP, the whole crew there at Idaho Sports Talk. And really excited to continue our partnership into football season and kick some butt here, giving you guys Boise State football coverage starting on Monday. So have a great rest of your day. Jay Tuss and I tomorrow, but first, Idaho Sports Talk 3 to 6 today. And obviously, if any news breaks or anything, we may get that fall camp schedule today. We'll get that out on social media and stuff. But have a great rest of your day. Be listening 3 o'clock today, and we'll talk to you guys later. Bronco Nation News Live here at BroncoNationNews.com.